Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Once again, I have come back with a biology lesson, and today is the last topic of our first chapter, the leaf. All right, so it would be a very short video because a very little portion is left for explanation in your lesson. After this, I would next video I would send you next day with the solutions of each and every questions, all right, so that you can uh, do it well, correct it if there is something wrong. I have missed it while reading your question because the writings are very small, and in my mobile screen it comes very small, and it becomes very difficult for me to read each and every word. So I would give you the solution also, right? So but after that we will start doing the chemistry physics one lesson, and parallelly we will do the biology revision, okay, test. So let's without wasting time, let's come directly to today's lesson, today's topic. So today's topic is insectivorous plants. Here you will have to learn the definition of insectivorous plants and various types of insectivorous plants, their examples, and the modifications. How do they fulfill their nutrition demand or nitrogen demand or the demand of their nutrients by eating insects. All right. So this is what is our topic today. So here first let's come across the definition of insectivorous plants. The plants which trap insects in one way or another to meet their nitrogen demand are called insectivorous plants. Right? So there are certain areas, where the land is not full of nutrients. The nitrogen supply of the land or the nutrient supply from the soil is not sufficient enough to fulfill the nutrition demand of the plants of that area. So the plants have to find some other way in order to grow in those areas. So what do? They become carnivorous plants, right? They become insectivorous. I cannot say carnivorous exactly, since they eat insects. I'm terming them as carnivorous, but they are called insectivorous plants because they trap insects and extract the juice, the enzymes from the insect body to fulfill their nutritions. Okay, so the examples of these type of plants are the pitcher plant. You see the picture of a pitcher plant. It looks like a pitcher with, there is a mouth over here, and it looks like a pitcher plant. And then we have got Venus flytrap, and you can see a fly is already trapped inside the Venus flytrap. And then we have bladderwort, and this is the bladder, showing a bladder of a bladderwort, right? So these are the various type examples of insectivorous plants. Now first we see the pitcher plant. You see in pitcher plant the lamina, the leaf, the leaf blade is modified. The leaf blade is modified into a pitcher. Leaf blade is modified into a pitcher. Leaf blade is modified into a pitcher. The apex of the leaf, the tip of leaf, the apex of the leaf forms the lid. The apex forms the lid, and the petiole, the stalk, the petiole becomes the food manufacturer in this case, because the leaf blade has modified itself into a pitcher. All right, so who will prepare food? So here petiole acts as a food factory of pitcher plant. All right. Now, generally a size of a pitcher plant varies from 10 centimeter to 20 centimeter. And how do they trap plants, insects? You see, when an insect like an ant sits on the rim of the pitcher, here you see the rim. The rim of the pitcher means the outline here, this portion. When an insect sits over there, what happens? The apex immediately closes. It closes. So what happens if this is a kind of pitcher plant? You see, if this is a pitcher plant with an apex modified as leaf, when an insect comes and sits over here, what happens? Immediately this lid closes and the mouth is covered up and the insect remains inside. The insect remains inside the pitcher. Okay, and the pitcher plant slowly extracts the enzyme from the insect's body. You see, at the bottom of the pitcher, enzyme juices are secreted which digests the animal protein. At the bottom, when it comes here, the insect comes here at the bottom. What happens here? Different kinds of enzymes are secreted which digests this enzymes digests the insect. All right. So where do you find these type of plants? You find them in Garo and Khasi hills of Meghalaya. You will find these plants in Meghalaya. All right. And why do pitcher plants grow? The soil in these areas are deficient in nitrates. They do not have enough nutrients. Nitrates means the molecules of nitrogen, various combinations, mixtures of nitrogen, which is important for a plant nutrition. That is not sufficient in the soil where they grow. So what they do, they utilize the enzyme, the protein from the insect's body, and they convert it into nitrates. So this is what is the purpose of purpose, I would not say. This is how the pitcher plants survive on insects. Next we move on to the Venus flytrap. Now Venus flytrap, what do they have? You can see the Venus flytrap here, left hand side. It is a kind of lobe. You saw lobe means our lips. You see, two lips are two lobes. Okay, upper lip and lower lip, lobes. They are called lobes. Okay, upper lip and lower lips. It has kind of lobe, and inside and the edges they have hair, denticles kind of thing, hair kind of thing. And the lobes are divided, as our lips are divided into two parts, and we open our mouth to put the food inside. Similarly, Venus flytrap also opens. There are two lobes over here. There are tentacles in it, with the tentacles, hair-like structure over here. So what happens is, whenever there is an insect sitting here, the tentacles can feel it. All right. So what happens? The insect comes here, and the lobe closes. This mouth closes. Like we put our food inside our mouth and we close the mouth. Similarly, the insect comes inside. You can see in the figure left hand side, the insect is inside. As soon as the insect will fall, it will close, like our book. It will close. Alright, and what will happen? The insect will get trapped in it, and the plant will slowly digest the insect. It will secrete different juices to digest the insect, and that's how it will extract the animal protein to fulfill its nitrate requirement. Next we move on to bladderwort. Bladderwort, you can see the left hand side, diagram C, and each bladder you see how it looks like. You please practice the diagram of bladder. Okay, see how it looks like. Bladderwort has highly segmented leaves. Okay, some of the segments of these leaves form small bladder-like structure. Bladder means thole. It's like sac. The bladder has an entry point which can be closed. The insects enter into it, but cannot come out and the digest it inside. Now the bladder, you see what happens, it has got opening, and the insect gets inside the bladder, and the opening of the sac closes, okay, immediately, and the animal enzyme is extracted by secreting various juices by the bladders of the bladder plant. Clear? Bladderwort. So this was the gist of insectivorous plants. Now next we move on to the vegetative propagation. We all know what is vegetative propagation. Now plants, we know, can reproduce in three ways. Plants can reproduce in three ways. What are the three ways we have learned? Plants can reproduce. Plants can reproduce through spores. You know, there are seeds kinds of thing on a leaf. At the base of the leaf you will see various seeds kind of a thing, like this. When they mature, they fall on the soil and they grow into new plants, right? Next is seeds, germination of seeds. We all know germination of seeds. And the other one is very important. We have studied in class 5 science book, the vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. Now what happens in vegetative propagation? Now apart from seeds, if a plant grow from various other parts of the mother plant, like the leaves, the roots, the stems, then it is termed as vegetative propagation, right? Like you see, from the roots grows the sweet potato. Sweet potato grows from the root, all right, if the tuber of the root. Then you see you have got strawberries. Strawberries are runners, they grow from the stem. And then we also have rhizome. Rhizome is also kind of stem, that ginger grows from it. Potatoes grows from the tuber of potato. It is on the skin of the potato, from where you see the eyes. There you will see the green colored parts. Sometimes you can see those are called tubers. Potato grows from there. That is also a stem. And then we have leaves, the bryophyllum leaves. You have learnt of bryophyllum leaves. Bryophyllum leaves, they have got the buds at the edges of their leaves, and when the leaves fall on the soil, from the buds grows new plants. So these are the various ways a plant can vegetatively propagate. Okay. Now one most important feature for vegetative propagation is it should have stored food. It should have stored food. Okay, to reproduce vegetatively, it should have got to reproduce vegetatively, you will see it must have some stored food in it. And also a few vegetative buds form adventitious roots and new shoot leaves. So these are the two requirements that should be fulfilled for vegetative propagation. Alright, and then we have got leaves of some plants such as bryophyllum, as I said, and begonate produce buds along with margin. When these buds fall on the moist soil, they begin to grow as a new young leaves. Now you see the picture of the bryophyllum. You see the edges of the bryophyllum. These edges have got buds, little buds in them. So if this is a bryophyllum leaf, the edges have little buds in them. Okay, buds. Buds means the kuri, from where the new leaf will grow, new plant will grow. Okay. Now, if this leaf comes in contact with the soil, if this leaf falls on the ground and comes in contact with the soil, see, I'm drawing the brown color soil. If they come in contact with the soil, what soil? Moist soil. That is, again, I would say the suitable condition. Moist soil, what will happen? New plants will grow from here. New plants will grow from the buds. So this is how bryophyllum, they propagate vegetatively through leaves. All right. So this was our lesson. Here we had to just cover two topics, one insectivorous plants and vegetative propagation. Hope you have understood the lesson well. Again, I will do while revision. If you have any doubt, you can come up asking me. I will send you the questions. You will have to answer the questions. So guys, that was it for today's biology lesson. We had just to cover two topics. One is insectivorous plants, another one is vegetative propagation. So both are very easy topics. So I will send you the question, solve it and send it to me by next Friday evening. Alright, so that I can take one biology question answers class on weekend and finish the biology lesson. Okay, so that we can start the physics lesson and do the biology revision. Alright, till then, stay safe, take care of your health, and I'm missing you very much, children. Bye bye.